us and share his experiences. And it's a vast experience with 30 years of experience in different companies and different restaurant chains. He'll be talking about brand building, smart heart, as well as how actually to operate in such a big company and be able to stay in the business through great operations. So without further ado, and he has limited time, so he'll share with us for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll open up for questions. Do you mind if they ask questions during the talk? So if you feel that the need to ask questions, please stop and ask questions. But remember, the time is only 1 hour because he has to leave at 4 o'clock. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Greg Drew.
What I want to talk about is you have to bring your real, true self to work. There's a sort of belief that executives should act, behave, believe, think in a certain way. And my fundamental belief is that you are your best when you are yourself. And when you are your true self, then you are in probably that sort of zone where you're not trying too hard, you're not trying to prove to someone who you are or who you are. And so ultimately, I guess, culturally, I'm an Australian. And so I sort of behave like a very Australian. We have a saying in Australia which is we call a spade a shovel, which is we're very blunt. And so culturally I've had to learn how to be less blunt when I'm dealing in cultures that don't take being so blunt so well. But I think you just truly have to be yourself. And my whole belief is that there is no archetype for a CEO. And so then what I wanted to talk about was, well, how do I think I got to be a CEO? Because I get asked that question a lot, which is, well, what did you do to become a CEO? And the answer is you have no clue, right? I mean, I could argue I have photographs on people, but that would be inappropriate. I won't go there. But I think one of the early things I did was in my career is I did the job that no one else wanted to do. It's really interesting that people, I've worked really at 2 companies. I worked at Unilever for 16 years. I worked in Sydney and London and New York. My last job with Unilever, I ran the Dove brand. I think the ladies probably know the Dove brand, which is now a big global brand for Unilever. Then I joined PepsiCo, and then we were spun off from PepsiCo to become Yum Brands. To do things or take on jobs that no one else wants to do, because if you fail, you're just another name in the long list of failures. But if you turn it around, you're the person that will get known for actually turning around something that 10 other people tried for. So that's my first one. The second thing is people ask me, what do I look for in a leader? What are the characteristics of a great leader? And I think there are 3 characteristics of a great leader. The first one is you have to be smart. Well, the good news is you're all doing your MBA, and I think we can probably check the box that you're smart. However, there's 2 parts to smart. There's the intellectual part to smart, which is, can you study, can you do exams, and can you get good scores? Then there's what I call the emotional intelligence, which is how do you connect with people? Because emotional intelligence, I actually think, is a bigger differentiator than actual IQ. And interestingly enough, and I'm not a psychologist nor am I an HR expert, but I'm told you can't really improve your IQ, but you can dramatically improve your EQ, your emotional intelligence. So when I look for the characteristics, I assume that most people are smart in the IQ part. I think what differentiates people is how good is their emotional intelligence. And part of the second part is, do you have a big heart? And do you lead from your heart, or do you lead from your head? And we're going to come back and talk about decision making in a moment. Then, in my mind, is people who have a huge heart are the people that want to be led by you. If you are just a functional leader, that you don't build an emotional connection, then it's very hard to be a leader. And I don't read a lot of business books, but I have read one. I'm going to give you the name. It's called It's Your Shit. It's by a Naval Academy, Annapolis in America. The third one is, when you lead, this is what leaders tend to do. They tend to tell people what they want done, and they tend to tell people how they want it done. I'm going to now ask all of you, what's the thing that's missing? So if I told the lady here, I said, I want you to do this, this is how I want you to do it. What am I not telling you to help you either get your job done or make me a better leader? Anyone want to have a guess? Ooh, someone said it. Who whispered? Ooh. Starts with a W. Sorry? The goal? No, not the goal. Why? Why? Someone heard someone up the back say it. Here's what tends to happen. You tend to tell people what to do, you tell people how to do it, and you never tell them why to do it. And what happens when you don't tell people why? But here's my good example. Maybe it's not the same in Indonesia. Growing up in Australia, my father would tell me, before you went out to play rugby, you had to mow the lawn. You know, with the lawnmower. And I would say, why? And what would my father tell me? Because I told you so. That's one style of leadership. But in all seriousness, I think what we've got to do as leaders is we have to tell people what we want done. But we actually have to be a lot clearer about the what. Invariably in organizations, even the what is not clear. Then what we have to do is we have to tell people why we want whatever the what is. Why do we want it done? And when we tell them why, you can build an emotional connection to what's going on. And then if possible, don't tell them how. Let them work out for themselves how to do it. That, to me, is the most powerful way to lead. Be really clear about the what. Be really clear about the why. And if possible, and it can't always be possible, I'm sure if you're running a nuclear power plant, you don't say to the guys, well, this is what I want you to do, this is why I want you to run it, just go run the nuclear power plant however you want to. Not really good. But in a lot of decisions, the how is up to the individual. And if you leave it up to the individual, you empower them to engage their own brain to actually sometimes find a better how than you even have. As I used to say to my dad, it doesn't matter how the lawn gets mown. Upways, crossways, around in circles. I still mowed the lawn. But I at least felt emotionally engaged in the lawn mowing, which is not easy to be emotionally engaged when you're mowing the lawn. Okay? So that's that one. Or, yes?
This one, because of the evolution in terms of how kids nowadays are raised up.
Right.
Now they're not people-oriented anymore because of the internet and
Right.
gadgets and so on. Is there anything that you find interesting when dealing with these type of people rather than,
Absolutely not. No, I ain't joking. No. Look, here's my belief. I don't believe we do anything for a functional reason. That's a rather bold statement. I think every decision we make, I don't mean a business decision, I mean every decision in life is an unconscious emotional decision. Because if you think about it, most of the decisions that we make are not around function. I'll give you 3 examples. Okay, hands up if you've got a watch. Well, first of all, here's my first question. How much does it cost to make a watch? Well, first of all, what's the role of a watch? Why does a watch exist? Why do we wear watches? To tell the time. Okay, how much does it cost to make a watch that tells the time pretty good? How much does it cost? About $1.50? $2? Okay. Hands up if you've got a watch on. I have a watch on. Hands up. Come on, it's okay. Put your hands up. Leave your hand up if you paid more than $1.50 for your watch. Okay. Put your hands down. Let's discuss. The functional role of a watch is to tell the time, and a watch only costs $1.50 to tell the time.
So why have we all, me included by the way, why do we all spend more than $1.50 on a watch? Yes, it's trendy. It makes a statement about it. It's not about the functional idea of telling the time. And at the same time, these business cards, which we all agree are just a piece of paper, but you would rather work for the person on this side than the person on that side knowing nothing else except the business card. So when people say to you the business card doesn't matter, it matters a heck of a lot. Why? Because you've made an emotional decision. There's nothing functional. This is a piece of paper. This is another piece of paper. But on the basis of a piece of paper, you chose who you wanted to lead you. That is not a functional reason. That's an emotional reason. Because you believe if I spend enough time thinking about that business card, and I might be the sort of person that you want to. So anyway, that's it. I'm not going to carry on because I've gone for probably too long. So what I'd like to do is if you've got any questions, I would be more than happy to answer. So hopefully that's a little bit about leadership. It's a little bit about brand building. It's not classical. I don't even have an MBA. My daughter is getting one right now, at the moment, which is very exciting. So she'll be far more educated than her father. But if there's any questions you'd like to ask, I truly, on any subject, would love to answer them for you. So.
Thank you, but you said that as a leader we have to be clear in what to do and why we want it done, and not so clear in how we do it. And how about leadership by an example? Leadership by example. I mean, the leader must give an example and influence to the subordinate.
Oh, very true. So, sort of to how I lead this whole idea of what and why and not how is I don't lead a brand anymore. When I ran Taco Bell, I used to have a meeting with the senior leaders, the people that probably the top 60 people in a company of thousands. And before the meeting was over with them, I would say to them, in a week's time, I'm going to wander the floor of the office and I'm going to ask everybody why are they doing what they're doing. And you need to hope that they can tell me why. Because usually when you wander the floor and you say to someone, you don't ask them why are you doing things, you ask them what are you doing, right? So normally bosses would go around and say, oh, hi, what are you up to? Oh, I'm working on this, that's fantastic, that's awesome, blah, blah, blah. I would walk around the building as a spirit of leading by example. I would walk around and I wouldn't ask anyone what they're doing, but I would ask them why are you doing it? And if the answer was, because my boss told me, I would go back to the boss and go, I think we've got a bit of a problem here because the person doesn't know why they're doing it. So I do agree with you. You actually have to live what you want to preach. So if you want to be a what and a why and not a how, you have to. So I would literally I would say to people, in a week's time, I'm going to walk around the floor, I'm just going to randomly stop, and I'm going to ask people why are they doing what they're doing. That is a great way of reinforcing that you want things to be done one way, versus the other way. And I would simply, and then people would know, because the great thing about an organisation is everybody knows what the boss is doing. There is no private, there's nothing private about being the boss, because anyone knows what you're doing. And people are like, oh, he's out, right? And I would wander around and I would just ask people, not the expected question, what are you doing? I'd ask the unexpected question, why are you doing it? And that was my way of leading by example and leading against the principles that I thought were important.
Your business in food industry, I believe you have tight competition, lots of players,
Yep.
and I guess your employee attrition is high. Moderate, I don't know, but my guess is high. So my question is, keeping up with the competition, including on the resources, employees, what is your strategy in building employer branding?
Okay, great question. We probably have as an industry globally a higher turnover than most industries. Though, interestingly enough, the KFC business in Indonesia has
team member turnover of less than 5%, which is unbelievably good. I mean, in our industry, it's usually about 100%. So 5 is a whole lot better than 100. My philosophy on, it's a great question, I'm glad you asked me, is I have another little saying, which I love, which is that the customer experience will never exceed the team member experience. And if you think about a lot of industries, and everyone does care about the customer experience, but everyone sort of jumps over the employees and sort of goes straight to the customer. And so the people in head office try to let the customer have a better experience. But if you go back to human nature, emotional connection, my fundamental belief is how I treat my team members will define how well they treat their customers. And so I think we need, having identified that, we, in some places, do an amazing job. I think like Stephen McCarthy does here at Pizza Hut, and like the KFC team does in Indonesia. But I think there are a lot of places in the world where we do not deliver a really good customer experience. And I think the answer is because we don't actually have a really good team member experience. Some of the things that we're doing now, this is more in the United States than it is that will start in the United States and then go outwards, is we actually have to help. I think one of the key things, certainly in our business, because we're often people who, it's sort of like a first opportunity job, right, working in a fast food place, is I think we have to try and help people, in my fundamental belief, is get an education. Because I'm a firm believer in that education is how you fundamentally change people's trajectory in life, right, between that trajectory or this one. It's large, yes, you can win the lottery, you have lotteries in Indonesia, you can win the lottery, but fundamentally, it's about, I think, education. And so in the United States now, on all three brands, KFC, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, we're really starting to work around how do we help our team members actually get, in some cases, a high school education, and in some cases, then how do we help them get an associate or a bachelor's degree? And that's some work that we're really starting to work on. It is very early days. We're not doing a good enough job of it. But I think we're going to have to differentiate ourselves as employers of choice by actually practicing the team member experience is actually more important than the customer experience. So I hope that answers your question.
Can you share a little bit about your experience in transforming your people, whether it actually happens and is it because
in transforming the people and whether it actually happens, that's a really interesting question. As I said, I try to understand who they are, what makes them tick, because everyone's different, right? And one of my other favorite sayings is, we have to treat everyone equally, but not the same. I have lots of these little sayings. I'm going to write a book on sayings. But in all seriousness, you know the saying, you should treat people like you want to be treated? It's completely wrong. The only person who wants to be treated like you is you. Everybody else wants to be treated like they want to be treated. Now, it has to be treated fairly. So, my one rule, and Tracy knows this, Tracy is actually the Chief People Officer for YUMI. So, Tracy's responsible for 1.4 million people. That's pretty impressive. She's also a very impressive lady. So, I think, that's, I've even lost my train of thought now because I was talking about how wonderful Tracy was. Oh yeah, so you have to be treated fairly, but not the same. And as a leader, your job is to find out what makes everyone tick, right? And then it is the other interesting thing is to put a team together of everybody's strengths. Everyone has weaknesses. I mean, trust me, I have many. First of all, I'm the world's worst speller. Seriously, I can't spell. You think I'm Australian. English is my native language. You would think I could spell. Haven't got a clue. My family think it's so funny. I went for my medical exam the other day, and they were going to give me a mental test. I thought, oh my goodness, this is not going to come out well. And I saw 3 animals, a camel, a lion, and a rhinoceros. I thought, if the doctor asked me to spell rhinoceros, we're going to be here for 5 years for me to try and work this out, right? So, we've all got strengths, we've all got weaknesses. The challenge, or the opportunity, is to find out what everyone's strengths and weaknesses are, and then leverage everyone's strengths, and they'll hopefully overcome everyone's one's weaknesses. Now, thank goodness, I'm actually really good at math, which is actually better, more important than really being good at spelling, because there's now this wonderful thing called spell check. Though it spells like Americans and I spell like Australians. That's not the point. So I think the answer is you get to know the people that you lead. You'll know exactly what their strengths are, what their opportunities are, because we've all got them. And if you can put a team together that is really around galvanizing everyone's strengths, they're the most successful teams. Or as my dad used to say, a champion team will be the team of champions. And I think it applies in sport,